It's Wednesday.
You know what that means?
What's that mean?
Underwater Wednesday.
It's Underwater Wednesday. We're at the pool, and today we got a very cool episode. Guys, I'm telling you, I learned things doing this I'm going to use in my fishing that I did not know before we did this tonight, Megan.
I learned new things that I'm going to use too.
Okay, there's varying degrees with that, okay? I'm just being honest.
Okay.
Guys, like I said, we learned stuff. You're going to learn stuff too. Stick around. Welcome back to MFO, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher.
And I'm Megan Fuller.
Like I said, I learned stuff. I'm going to be using this in my fishing. I can't wait to get to it, but we got a lot to cover here. We've been comparing stick baits, Senkos. Senko is what I always use, but Megan, I'm telling you, yep, we threw the Senko for sure. But we also threw the Strike King Ocho, the Yum Dinger, the Berkeley Power Bait, the General, and we even threw in the Bass Pro Shop Stik-o. So we've got 5 different stick baits, and we put them through the paces. We put them through a sink rate. How do they sink, and what's the timing in terms of how long do they take to sink to the bottom? We put them through the wobble test. What do they look like as they're fluttering down? We also have a durability test. When do they break, and at what pounds do they break? We also have some scent that we're going to talk about, and then the final comparison is price. There were some results that might surprise you as we get going. So guys, stick around here. Let's get to it. The first test is twofold. How quickly do they sink, and what does the wobble look like as they flutter down to the bottom? I'm getting in the pool. Megan's gonna put the baits in the water, and we'll see how each bait does.
Hey guys, while Mark is getting his gear on, I want to thank our 3 contest winners, Mark Coleman, Jim Lopez, and Mike Wilkie. And remind you guys to please DM Mark either on Facebook or Instagram your information so we can send you guys our very cool gift bags. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos with other people so that we can keep doing these videos and growing our fan base. Thanks.
So we're going to start with the Senko, and I don't think it's a surprise to anybody. The Senko has good wobble as it falls. Now we're going to do the stopwatch test with the Senko, and we're going to see that the Senko drops 4 feet in 5.36 seconds. The next bait is the Strike King KVD Ocho. The Ocho has much less wobble as it sinks to the bottom in our first test. As we do the timer, you'll notice that it has a much slower rate of fall, falling the same 4 feet in 7.21 seconds. The Yum Dinger is our next bait to do the test, and as we see the Yum Dinger fall, we notice that it has a gliding motion back and forth, but no real wobble. And yet the Yum Dinger sinks at a much slower rate, falling the same 4 feet in 10.61 seconds. The Bass Pro Shop's Stik-o bait has a very nice wobble, very similar to the Senko, and the fall rate is equivalent to the Ocho at 7.21 seconds. The Berkeley Power Bait, the General, has a much thinner profile, yet still wobbles very nicely on the fall. But because of the thinner profile, had a fall rate of 4.13 seconds. So Megan, we are now going to be doing our durability test. And we're going to be doing this for all 5 stick baits. As you can see, we have our Senko, which is our first contestant. We have it rigged, wacky rig style, with the hook through the middle, and then 2 O-rings that are holding braided line with 4 ounces of weight on the end. The first test is just to see whether it can withstand that, and it does. It does not tear the bait.
Okay.
Now, if you can zoom out, what I will be doing is adding pressure by dropping it. We'll drop it first from a foot, then 2 feet, until we get the bait to tear. So the first one, we will come up 1 foot with 4 ounces, and the bait withstood that pressure. Now we will drop it 2 feet, and the bait withstood that pressure. Now we will drop it 3 feet, and that is where the bait broke. As you can see, the hook is still on. It wasn't the line that broke, it was the bait that broke. 3 feet with 4 ounces for the Senko. So this is our second bait, the Yum Dinger. As you can see, it's rigged the exact same way. We have 4 ounces. It's holding 4 ounces. We'll now drop the 4 ounces from a foot distance. Bait holds. We'll now drop the bait from 2 feet. Bait continues to hold. We'll now drop from 3 feet. This is where the Senko failed, and the Yum Dinger failed at the same distance. Our third bait is the Bass Pro Shops Stik-o. Again, we start by just applying the same 4 ounces worth of weight to the bait that is hooked in the center. The bait is the same 4 ounces. We now go up 1 foot and let it drop. The bait was stood 1 foot drop. We go up 2 feet. The bait was stood 2 foot drop. We go 3 feet. Both the other baits so far have failed at this distance. The Bass Pro Shop Stik-o has survived the 3-foot drop. We will now drop it from the same height as the Stik-o. And that bait did not survive that distance of a drop. However, so far that bait has withstood the highest drop. Our next bait is the KVD Strike King Ocho. You gotta break the same weight. It's steadily taking 4 ounces, break the exact same weight. You now raise it 1 foot, and drop. Withstood 1 foot drop. 2 feet. Withstood the 2 foot drop. 3 feet. And like the Senko and the Yum Dinger, the Ocho failed at the 3 feet drop. So thus far, the only bait that has not failed at the 3-foot drop was the Bass Pro Shop Stik-o. We have 1 bait left to go, and that is the Berkley Power Bait, the General. So let's rig that one up. Our final bait is the Berkley, the General. We do our static pull with the 4 weights attached. It withstands the static weight. We go up 1 foot. It withstands the 1 foot drop. We go up 2 feet. It withstands the 2 foot drop. We go up 3 feet. It actually withstood the 3-foot drop and pulled the O-rings off. The 3-foot drop, the bait withstood the 3-foot drop, but because the bait is thinner than the other baits, the 3-foot drop continued to pull the O-ring off of the bait, therefore not being able to give the bait the entirety of the weight. Let's review how our 5 stick baits compared head to head. First, the Senko. It had good wobble, it was the second fastest in fall rate, had relative durability, and it is salt impregnated. The Strike King Ocho had poor wobble, the second slowest fall rate, and relative durability, and no scent. The Yum Dinger had a sliding fall, but had the slowest fall rate. It had relative durability and no scent. The Berkeley General had good wobble, relative durability, a fast fall rate, and that proven max scent. And finally, the Bass Pro Shop Stik-o had good wobble, the second slowest fall rate of all stick baits, the best durability, and no scent. This bait also proved to be the least expensive, having 14 units per bag, where all other stick baits had 8 units per bag. Guys, we hope you liked this episode. Send us your comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us the stick baits that you use and why. And are there variables that we didn't think of while we were doing our testing? We covered durability, wobble, fall rate, and scent, as well as price. But you may have some others. Send us your comments, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody.